Hi everyone, welcome to our tonight webinar. My name is Sarah. I am nutritional consultant for Choices Markets at North Van and Kerrisdale location. Tonight our guest speaker is Chela. Chela is a nutritionist and wellness educator with a passion for helping women thrive without restriction. Her practice focuses on gut health and intuitive eating habits to help her clients break free of chronic symptoms and find peace with food forever. Along with her Nutritional Practitioner Certification, she is also a certified personal trainer, yoga instructor, and holds special training in clinical supplementation and advanced herbal pharmacology. Chela has over 7 years of experience in the supplement and health industry. She works with clients locally in the Vancouver area and online worldwide. Welcome, Chela. Before I hand it to you, I'll just go over a few housekeeping items. First, whoever attended in this webinar, you will receive a $10 coupon, $10 off, when you purchase $50 or more at Choices Market. We will send this to you by mail. So at the end of this webinar, you will receive a server link, and you just need to fill out your mailing address, and we will mail it to you approximately about a month after this webinar. Second, if you have any nutrition question, you can call your local Choices Market and make appointment with one of our in-store nutritionists. And also, if you have question, you can just type it in chat box. And in order to write your question, you need to have a YouTube account. And if you don't have, you can create one and then type your question, and all your question will be answered at the end of this webinar. Okay, and now I hand it over to Chela.
Thank you so much, Sarah. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are live on the Choices YouTube channel. So we're here to talk about the benefits of whole foods, vitamins, and minerals in supplementation. So as a nutritionist, I work with my clients and, talk about food and nutrients all day long. Of course, being a nutritionist, I always recommend food first, but there are so many circumstances where food can sometimes not be enough when it comes to nutrients. There's 4 key areas for this, I find. So the first one is nutrients in our soil. So just due to conventional farming practices, the nutrients in our soil, which is essentially where our food is getting its nutrients from, the vitamins and minerals in our soil, due to conventional farming practices, the depletion of nutrients in our soil has become very apparent as farming practices have continued over the last 50 years. This mainly being from monocropping and toxic herbicides and pesticides and overgrowing essentially in our soil. So if we're not getting enough nutrients in our soil, our food is not being filled with those vitamins and minerals that our body needs. So in this instance, it's helpful to be able to take another source of vitamins and minerals from a whole food source. The next thing is, our food choices. Sometimes we don't always make the best food choices throughout the day. We can have one nutrient dense meal, but we can have busy lives on the run at work or with our families. And sometimes we don't always get in all the nutrients that we originally intended. So being able to supplement and take something on the side to make sure that all of our nutrient bases are covered can be very helpful. The next area is, if we're absorbing our nutrients properly, gut health, microbiome health is something that has been talked about very frequently in recent years. And the thing about our digestion is unless we're absorbing all our nutrients, we're really not getting the true benefit from our food. We can be buying organic, whole foods all day long and eating the best diet, but if we're not absorbing the nutrients, we're actually not getting the benefit of those nutrients in our food, and therefore taking an added supplement from a whole food source can be quite beneficial. And then the last area is, when we're in times of nutrient needs, so when our body needs more nutrients than usual, if we're trying to conceive or we're pregnant, if we're under a great amount of stress or going through emotional things, or if we're sick. So these are instances where our body needs those extra nutrients in our body. And the great thing about taking a whole food vitamin is that it essentially is food. All of the ingredients are coming from food, and therefore our body recognizes it as a food source and is able to digest and absorb those nutrients so much easier. So today I'm really going to dive deep into the Garden of Life mykind Organics line. Garden of Life is a very broad brand. We have a lot of different products, but the mykind line is really special because it was specially formulated for whole food products. And we'll talk about the different certifications and more in depth with each product. But this is really the mykind line is really dedicated to being a whole food sourced supplement. So you're getting nothing but whole foods in these vitamins. There is no additives, there's no fillers. It is just truly food. And this can be at a great benefit for so many people in so many different ways. So let's dive in. So one of the biggest things I love about Garden of Life is that their true commitment to quality when it comes to their products. They're certified organic, certified non-GMO, and B Corp certified. So B Corp is actually a really hard certification to get because it not only takes into consideration the ingredients in a product, but also how those ingredients are grown. So the farming practices, so making sure that fair wages are paid to the farmers, making sure that environmental practices are followed in order to maintain the integrity of ingredients in the different farms used. Oh, sorry, just give me 1 second. Sorry, my screen flashed there. We obviously do a lot of other certifications, so vegan, gluten-free, kosher. We have so many different certifications because we want to make sure that everyone can be able to take our products and that they feel very comfortable taking the products and knowing that it's certified. So certification takes a long time in order to get these certifications. Essentially, you have to really rigorously test and look from seed to growing stages and to putting a product together in order to get these certifications. So they're very important. So I'm just going to turn off my whole screen just so I don't look like a floating head. There you go. So you get the full screen there. Okay. So Garden of Life is really wonderful in that it not only cares about the finished product, but it also cares about, how the product is grown. So it really does put a lot of intention behind supporting environmental practices. And it looks at what are the current issues with conventional farming practices and where can you possibly make adjustments. So there, it's no mistaking that conventional farming practices use harmful ingredients, and these harmful ingredients really impact the environment and the future ability to grow our food and essentially feed the world. So looking at these specifically really help in order to ensure the future generations' food sources. So let's look at a couple of them. So how pesticides negatively impact bees. So bees are pollinators. They are in charge of essentially helping grow our crops, pollinate our crops, and they're very essential to our food sources. Bees are really on a decline right now. It's a really scary thing. So making sure that, whatever products are grown, ingredients are grown, they're used by using non-harmful pesticides and herbicides in order to keep the ecosystem thriving and happy. Organic farming supports water quality. So all the water used in farms, it doesn't just stay in the farm itself. There are runoffs into the environment around the farms, into other farms. So when you use harmful pesticides and herbicides, those chemicals are carried outside of the farm environment and can greatly cause issues and impact environments, not only on the farm, but around the farm. One of the most used pesticides and herbicide, it's a herbicide actually used in conventional farming for GMO crops, is called Roundup. It's been tested as a carcinogenic substance, so it can cause cancer. And it's extremely toxic to our environment, and not only toxic to our environment, but also our bodies. There have been tests done in Europe. They no longer allow any foods in Europe, in the UE, to have any GMO crops or Roundup. So yeah, they have essentially, and almost an entire continent has said, this stuff is toxic, we do not want it. Unfortunately, products in the US and Canada are still sold with GMO crops. They're not labeled, so we have to be very vigilant to look for that non-GMO verified label to make sure that we are protecting ourselves against these chemicals. So organic farming yields are higher than conventional farming. So, I always wondered why conventional farmers used, herbicides, pesticides to keep away the bugs, when actually organic farmers get more crops when they actually work with nature in order to essentially work with the bugs, work with the soil, and work with the surrounding things in order to cohesively make an eco-friendly environment without the herbicides and pesticides damage. So funny enough, the conventional farming yields less crops than organic farming. Many farmers are starting to realize this, and the more we purchase organic products and the more we purchase organic foods, the more we're voting with our dollar and saying we want more organic, and the more farmers are now converting to organic farming practices. So it's really up to us to be able to say, hey, this is what I want more of. And essentially, every time you purchase something, you are voting with your dollar. So it's really important to make sure that we realize this and that we're purchasing more organic, non-GMO foods in order to ensure, the thriving organic farmers, for future generations. Another thing is pesticides negatively impact children's health. So, children are much more susceptible to toxins and pesticides. Other thing we have to think about is tests and studies have been done to show that mothers can pass on, stored pesticides and herbicides in their bodies to their children. So if you're conceiving or pregnant, you can actually pass on these toxins and the residue of these toxins to your children, which is terrifying when you think about it. So it's another reason to really be mindful of, being wary of what we're eating, what's on our foods. I love the source, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. If you haven't heard about that, it's part of the Environmental Working Group, and you can find it on their website. And every year they do a study to show the top 12 Dirty Dozen. So the top 12 fruits and vegetables are the most sprayed with herbicides and pesticides. And then the Clean 15 is the cleanest fruits and vegetables that has the least amount of residue of herbicides and pesticides. And it's a study that's done every single year. And they do rigorous testing to find this out. Generally, the same fruits and vegetables end up on the list every year. Strawberries, apples, like leafy greens like lettuce tend to always be on the Dirty Dozen list. But it's a really great resource just for you to have a look at what what fruits and vegetables to buy organic, just to be aware of what might be on the top list. We use many of the dirty dozen ingredients in our vitamins. Of course, they're organic, so you don't have to worry about that, but it's just really eye-opening to see some of the most frequently used produce are on the dirty dozen list and are highly sprayed with pesticides. I think strawberries, they did a study, they can have up to 200 different residue of pesticides on strawberries that are conventionally grown, which is mind-blowing when you think about it. So yeah, just when it comes to organic farming, it's not just about the quality of the product that you're eating yourself. It's also about being wary of the environment and making sure that it's an eco-friendly choice for everyone. So, I mean, the general labels when consumers are looking for products, you're going to look for your USDA organic. Garden of Life is a US company, so they're going to have the USDA organic. It's the same as the Canadian organic stamp of approval. But yeah, it's an organic, or sorry, it's a US company, so they go through the same rigorous testing. The Non-GMO verified project. So again, the Non-GMO project is a hard certification to get because they really do analyze everything from seed to the growing practices to the ingredients in the final product in order to verify that none of it was either a GMO seed grown in a GMO farm, so none of the pesticides or herbicides, and that the finished product is truly GMO free. We also have a vegan certification, so no animal products or animal testing was used in the making of our products, and then gluten-free certified. So rest assured, anyone that's celiac or with a gluten intolerance are safe to take these products. So the organic certification, like I said, it's very similar to the Canadian organic certification. But what this really means is truly every step of the ingredient is certified organic. And it's not just about, the finished product and our own health. It's really what it means for everybody. So having a USDA organic certification means that because the pesticides and herbicides being sprayed are not toxic, it makes a healthier working environment for farmers and anyone on the farm, and then of course in the neighboring farms or the neighboring environment. If you're using toxic chemicals on your farms, it's going to spread not only to the people on the farm and cause health issues, but it's going to migrate outside of the farm. You can't contain the air, the water to a farm. It's going to spread out, and that does impact the environment in general. So making sure that you're using USDA approved, pesticides and herbicides, and keeping chemicals, to a minimum really makes it a healthier working environment for everyone. It also helps reduce exposure with synthetic pesticides. So of course, when you're looking at conventional farming herbicides and pesticides, these are synthetic chemicals. These are made, they are toxic. So, with the USDA organic, there is a limit of what chemicals you can use, what practices you're able to use in order to make sure that it's working as much as it can with the environment and keeping the toxic pesticides and herbicides to a minimum. They usually use natural herbicides and pesticides just to not damage the soil, not damage the ecosystem, and make sure there's no residue remaining on your food that can be harmful for your health. Another thing with organic is there's no use of hormones and antibiotics. So this generally comes into play when we're talking about animal products, but there's hormones and can also be in synthetic pesticides. So making sure that there's none of those. And then there's also preservation of local crop varieties. So usually in conventional farming, there's very few varieties of crops used. They usually try to pump out the same amount of crops, and they're done in a monocropping fashion. So monocropping is where only one type of crop is grown in the entire field. More organic and biodynamic farming practices is that there's multiple different crops grown at different times just to make sure that the soil nutrient level is varied. If you continue to grow the same crop on the same field over and over again, that crop retain certain nutrients, and those nutrients will become depleted in the soil. So making sure that, a variety of crops are used and local crops varieties are preserved really helps that. For instance, for potatoes, there's over 4,000 different kinds of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes, but there's so many different varieties of crops that we are not even aware of because there's only certain things sold in our supermarket. We only get sold the same crops over and over again. So organic really ensures that local varieties of crops are starting to be used, and we get different types of crops which hold different kinds of nutrients. So I feel everyone wins in that instance. And the other thing is, at the end of the day, it enhances soil quality. So if you're using toxic herbicides and pesticides, you're going to be damaging the soil. There is a huge impact on the soil when it comes to using toxic chemicals. And the soil at the end of the day is where life comes from. Things grow in the soil. Without things growing in the soil, we're not going to be able to get food. We're not going to be able to get those nutrients. So making sure that the quality of the soil is protected, and we're not using toxic chemicals in our soil, and we can preserve the soil for future generations in order to make food. So that's, I find, is a very important one. So the non-GMO project verification, like I said, this is a very difficult certification to get just because they really do rigorous testing. It's one of the leading third-party product verifications, just because they really do trace everything from the seed to the finished product. So they're looking at the origin of the seeds. They're looking at how the crops were grown. They're looking at everything you're using in your finished product. They test everything. They test at-risk ingredients. So for instance, in our K2, we use natto, which is soy-based. And they're making sure that that soy is coming from a legitimate non-GMO source. So making sure that all of the common GMO crops, if any used in products, are going to be from a clean source. In our case, it's also organic, but we also get the non-GMO project verified just because we really want to give customers a peace of mind when they look at the box and they say, okay, it's organic, it's non-GMO, it's a clean product, it's safe for us to take. And that really matters a lot to Garden of Life. So there's really 3 key parts when it comes to the mykind tablets. There's global raw material resourcing, patent and freshwater extraction, and clean tablet technology. So the global raw materials resourcing, we resource different materials from all over the world. We work with organic and biodynamic farms all over the world to source the best ingredients for our products. We literally, you'll see a map in a few slides, but literally we'll go anywhere in the world as long as, the organic non-GMO practices are upheld, and also the B Corp certification. So we're making sure that these farms treat their workers well, that they're environmentally friendly, and that they have the very best ingredients and resources to be able to create our products. The patented freshwater extraction. So when you're extracting active constituents, so herbal botanicals, you have to extract, generally most companies use a synthetic extraction, and these synthetic extraction uses chemicals, which can leave a residue on your finished product. The amazing thing about the freshwater extraction is essentially you're just extracting the constituents using water. So just like we're just using food in our vitamins and minerals, we're just using water for extracting. So even if there's water residue left over, there's no worries. There's no chemicals, there's no toxins used. So it's a very clean technology. The next is the clean tablet technology. So we'll get into the tablet in a couple slides, but essentially we can take supplements in a bunch of different ways. There are tinctures, there are capsules, and then there are tablets. When it comes to tablets, if you think about a capsule, all of the ingredients are enclosed in a capsule. But when you think about a tablet, that tablet needs to stay in a shape and a form. And in order for it to do that, it needs to have ingredients that is able to stick together and make that form and keep that mold. And most tablets have bulking agents. They have other non-medicinal ingredients. If you look at a bottle, you can look under non-medicinal ingredients, especially for a tablet, and they will have things in there that aren't necessarily beneficial to your health, but they are put in those tablets because they're going to help keep that tablet together. When it comes to clean tablet technology, essentially we have found a way to make a tablet made completely of whole food. So every ingredient, every piece of that tablet is going to have active medicinal ingredients in it. So there's going to be no toxic fillers, binders, any of those things. I'll show you a list of all the different things you can find in common tablets. But this is really an amazing technology that hasn't been done before. So when it came out, I was very, very excited to learn about it. So this is our sourcing map. As you can see, we source from all over the world. We get organic sea kelp from Iceland. We get organic strawberries, cherries, blackberries, berries from the US. And one of our main farms is in India. And this is where we source quite a few of our ingredients. This particular farm is biodynamic. It's run by an Ayurvedic doctor, and they really meet the standard for, excellent farming practices. We'll talk a bit more about that, but as you can see, we really do source from all over the world. Wherever the best farming practices are upheld, we really like to source our ingredients. And you can see that we definitely provide for workers all over the world. So the particular farm in India is run by Dr. Raj. So he's an Ayurvedic doctor. And this farm has really amazing farming practices. So it's fully organic and biodynamic. It's in a tropical zone in southern India, which means the crops can grow year round, and the harvests are really abundant. Farmers are actually permanent, not seasonal. So many farmers on different farms are seasonal farmers. I know in BC here, we usually have seasonal farmers in the summer to pick our berries. But for there, because of the temperature and the abundant harvests, they are permanent workers year round. And they essentially live on the farmland, as well as they have their children live there. So they have schools set up, and they're also next to an animal sanctuary. So that means that any farming practices that they use there needs to be fully natural, because they are in a remote location where they are not able to use any harmful chemicals or pesticides, because it truly affects the environment around the farm, in the animal sanctuary and everywhere around. So they really work with the land in order to uphold these biodynamic and organic farming practices. Biodynamic farming was originating from Ayurvedic practices. So Ayurveda is ancient Indian medicine, essentially, and practitioners really work with the land and with herbs to be able to make it as natural and biodynamic as possible. So working with these farming practices are very important to Dr. Raj and his family. So the patented freshwater extraction, like I mentioned earlier, this clean water filter uses a clean water filtration system to extract these natural constituents. So these herbal constituents, essentially. It goes through various different processes. So there's 4 different stages of extraction. So it goes from, you can see in the first picture here, taking organic produce and essentially pulverizing it. So continuing to mash it up, then we add water to this. So it's being It's masticating in water and being pulverized and mixing with the water. The water is sprayed onto it, and it's kind of mixing around. From there, the remaining pulp essentially is removed, and it usually goes into compost. And then the liquid remaining is filtered further. So it goes through a filter, and it essentially has the extract. So out of a 10,000 liters of liquid from the original pulverized material, only 100 to 200 liters of concentrated organic fruit extract is left. So they use a lot of produce essentially just to get a small amount. But this really ensures that you're getting a pure extract. And it's really quite an amazing technology that there is no chemicals used in this, which is quite new. And it's just water. So they're really sticking to their natural biodynamic practices at extraction. And you're left with a really clean, organic, pure product at the end. So of course, once you're left with your liquid, you need to be able to dry the product because it ends up in a powder, which you then put into a tablet. So usually spray drying can have, again, chemicals in it. It can be exposed to high heat, which can kill nutrients. So the drying process is really important as well. They have a patented drying system. There's no carriers used. There's no fermentation. There's no added ingredients used. These vitamins and minerals are very isolated, and you're really getting a clean product at the end, which is pure 100% organic extracted fruit powder. And this fruit powder is then sent to facilities in the US and Canada to make the Garden of Life products, essentially. So it makes Garden of Life one of a kind. So, I mean, many things do, but one of the biggest things is obviously our sourcing our organic fruits and vegetables. And, like you saw on the map, our fruits and vegetables are grown all over the world. The one that we just talked about was in India, but we have also a really great relationship with, US farmers as well. And the fruits and vegetables grown in our US farms, also deliver the rich antioxidant and polyphenol rich extracts that we use for our products. You can see here pictures. This particular farm is for our grasses. So we have a product where we use green grasses or greens product. And we've worked with this particular farm from almost the beginning of Garden of Life. So many, many years. And we trust them to make the very best fruits and vegetable extracts, obviously using organic biodynamic farming practices. So it's another wonderful farm that we work with from around the world. So the clean tablet technology, so once we have extracted the constituents using the water extraction, and then we've dried it, we're left with the powdered form of our vitamins and minerals, and we're now going to make the tablet. So like I said, to make a tablet, it's really important you have your active ingredients in your tablet, but then you need to form the tablet. You need to be able to make it stick together and keep its form. And that's a really important thing. Usually if you look at tablets, if you go into your drugstore and you're looking at different brands of tablets, you're going to see in the non-medicinal ingredients section a variety of all of these ingredients. And the thing about that is that these ingredients do not actually have any benefit to your health. They are solely in your tablet because they have benefit to the company itself. Either, they're reducing clumping in the machinery to make the tablets. They're helping to keep the shape of the tablet. Like I said before, they're acting as a lubricant, whatever it is, but none of these will have a benefit to your health. And some of them can also, be harmful for your health. So being aware of not only what are the active ingredients in your tablets, but what is the non-medicinal ingredients in your supplements. That is a really important thing to look at. So for Garden of Life, like we said, we use whole foods in order to make these tablets. So as a binder to help keep the tablet together and bind things together, we use organic tapioca. Fillers, we don't use any fillers. So like I said, the entire tablet is going to be made of whole foods. We're really adamant about that because we want to make sure that every part of this tablet is going to be beneficial for your health. And, you know, we can safely say that when we don't use any fillers. So flow and anti-caking agents. So usually when the powder is flowing through the machinery, something needs to be there in order to stop it from caking and, you know, blocking up. So we use, again, natural organic brown rice extract, and natural gum arabic. And these, again, are food sources to help everything flow and make sure the machinery doesn't get clogged up. For lubricant, we use organic brown rice concentrate, so food source. For dispersal, we use organic potato starch. And for coating, just once the tablet is once the tablet is done, we coat it lightly in order to keep it together. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure what's happening here. Oh, I do apologize. Oh, sorry, I lost my screen there. I'm going to try to pull that up again. My apologies. Technology. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so the coating essentially is the tablet is dipped in coating afterwards, and it's a natural tapioca, sunflower lecithin, palm oil, and guar gum. And the coating is very light. You essentially can pop it in your mouth and suck it off within a couple of minutes. It's just really there to coat the tablet and also make it easier for you to swallow. But yeah, essentially the tablet is bound together with only natural ingredients just to make sure that it still is a whole food product. So this kind of is an overview of all the things we just talked about in terms of traceability. So literally, we're really passionate about making sure that traceability from seed to finished product is intact. So we're starting with certified organic non-GMO seeds. The growing practices are going to be biodynamic, organic, with minimal use of, you know, toxins and healthy pesticides and herbicides. From there, we're going to do the extraction with the water extraction. So there's no synthetic chemicals used to extract, which means there's no synthetic residue or toxins left on the ingredients to make your final product. The drying technology, there's nothing used in terms of chemicals. It's just naturally dried. And then our clean tablet technology. So there's no fillers, there's no binders that are going to be, you know, non-medicinal. Everything is going to be from food. Everything is going to be a benefit for your body, and there's not going to be anything harmful in there. So now I'm going to jump into more of our individual products. So the different products in our mykind line, just giving you a brief overview of them and, you know, how they can be helpful for you individually. So, you know, multivitamins are probably what everyone knows the best when it comes to vitamins and supplements. Everyone thinks, do I need a multivitamin? And the great thing about our mykind organic multivitamins is that they're one a day. I find this is a huge benefit for people. I know so many multivitamins I know I've recommended with clients. They're just like, I don't want to take 3 tablets a day of something. I don't want to have to take something, you know, 1-3 times a day. And that's fair. It's really great when it's just a once daily. It's easy. It gives you the nutrients that it needs. You know, with the mykind organics, we do gender specific, just because men and women are different. We are built differently. We need different nutrients. And it definitely is reflected in the multivitamins. We really make sure that the women's daily meets all the requirements for a healthy, active woman, to give them healthy hair, skin, and nails, promote energy, and make sure all of their bases are covered. It also provides iron, which is really important for menstruating women. So this is a great added benefit. This is a wonderful once a day multi. If you do take a multi, I definitely recommend this one. The same with men. Again, men are different. So with the men's, there's no added iron because men do not need added iron unless they have their blood test done and they specifically need added iron. But everything is, all the ingredients are geared towards healthy, active men to help promote their metabolism, boost energy levels, and make sure they're keeping healthy. And again, it's a once a day, which I know is great for men because guys are fussy. They just want to take one vitamin, one pill, and get on with their day. So I find this one super helpful. So next is our prenatal. So prenatals are extremely vital for my clients. I always recommend that women that are trying to conceive start taking it when they're trying to conceive. So that way, you know, they're already have enough nutrients to develop a healthy baby. So you take it from when you're starting to conceive to a year after your baby is born. Having a baby, babies take all of your nutrients in your body. They take priority. And this can really deplete your own levels. So, you know, many women think, well, I'll just start taking it when I'm pregnant, and when I have my baby, I'm good to go. But the thing is, once you're growing a baby, and once your baby's born, your nutrient stores are usually still, you know, lower than what they should be. So taking a prenatal throughout your pregnancy and beyond for a little while really helps you to build your stores back up and make sure that you're healthy and your baby's healthy and all your bases are covered. So you can see the different dosages, and these ones are quite a lot higher than the other multis. Obviously, that is because you're going to need a lot more nutrients to support a healthy baby and, you know, promote healthy fetal development. This one also is high in folate. So folate is very important for pregnant women just to minimize certain birth defects. So this one is absolutely wonderful if you are considering conceiving, are currently pregnant, or if you've just had a baby. So calcium, calcium is probably one of the most popular supplements I find. When I worked on a supplement floor, I find calcium is definitely up there, especially as we're getting older. We're really worried about our bone health, and taking calcium is, you know, top of our list. The great thing about this particular calcium is it's from a food source. And the reason that this is so important is because sometimes mineralized calcium supplements can actually cause calcification in the body. I have seen this before. I've read studies on it as well. So just because we're taking in calcium doesn't mean that it's going to our bones. Sometimes it can go to other areas of our body, like our joints or even our organs, and calcify, which is kind of scary. When we're taking such high amounts of calcium, this can happen. And the thing when it comes to whole food calcium is it prevents this from it being an issue, because like I said, when we're eating food-based supplements, our body recognizes it as food. Just because you eat an abundant amount of kale doesn't mean that you're going to overdose on calcium. Your body takes in what it needs and it lets go of what it doesn't. So the same comes to whole food vitamins and minerals. We essentially absorb what we need and we let go of the rest. So along with our whole food calcium, which is coming from red whole algae, we have supporting vitamins, which are great for bones. So our K2, which is coming from natto, organic natto, and our D3, which is coming from lichen. So it's coming from moss. And the K2 and the D3 are really great with calcium because it helps to pull the calcium into the bone as well as preserve whatever calcium we already have in the bone. So that's wonderful. You get a full dosage of the vitamin D3, so 1,000 IUs. So really make sure that you're covered in terms of keeping your calcium in your bones healthy. So next we have our B complex. So again, it's a 1 daily. B vitamins are sometimes overlooked, I find, but they're one of the first things I recommend to anyone that is dealing with fatigue, drops in energy levels, and stress. B vitamins are water-soluble vitamins, so you know, we urinate multiple times a day, and every time we do, any water-soluble vitamins in our body are depleted a little bit. So making sure that we continually take in water-soluble rich vitamins like B vitamins, vitamin C, are really important. Also, B vitamins tend to get a lot more depleted when we're under stress, which is why it's a wonderful vitamin if you are currently dealing with stress in your life. I mean, who's not dealing with stress, I guess, especially these days. But I think that we tend to overlook the B vitamins, and they can be a true asset in terms of giving us natural energy, as well as lowering our stress response. So we have a full B complex here, and of course, everything is made from organic fruits and vegetables. So we're getting pure B vitamin sources from whole food sources. So next we have our B12. So along with our clean tablet technology, we also have our sprays. We have 3 different kinds of sprays, which I'll show you now. But our sprays, for one, I love taking them because they are delicious. It's always easier to take a vitamin when it's delicious. I find it's great as well for kids. Again, it's from whole foods. So most of these are made from fruit. So they're going to taste very delicious, which makes taking them a whole lot easier. Our B12 is great, especially if you are low in B12, if you are struggling with iron issues, since it is a cofactor for absorbing iron, or if you're vegetarian or vegan, B12 is going to be a really great source, just because if you're vegetarian or vegan, you are not eating animal products, and B12 in foods are generally only found in animal products. So our B12 is made from a methylcobalamin. There's generally 2 types of B12 on the market, methylcobalamin and cyanocobalamin. Methylcobalamin is from a natural plant source. The cyanocobalamin is usually the cheaper version of B12, and it's sourced from like cyanide, which sounds scary, but it's when it's converted, it's completely safe, but it is the cheaper version of B12. So we like to use the methylcobalamin because it's the best absorbed, and it's coming from plants, so whole food sources. This particular one comes in a raspberry flavor. Honestly, it's absolutely delicious. So our D3, this one, I'm a huge believer of D3 supplements. It's probably the one supplement that I recommend to every client, especially if you're like us and you live in Canada in the Northern Hemisphere. We only get sun certain times of the year. And unless you truly are getting, sun exposure for a certain amount of time every single day, and you're converting properly, if your body's properly converting into vitamin D3 in your body, then we really need to take a supplement in order to maintain healthy D3 levels. There are 2 different kinds of D3 on the market. There are the animal-based and the plant-based. The animal-based comes from lanolin, which is sheep's wool oil. And then the plant-based, which this is our mykind here, since it's a vegan product, is from lichen. There's only one company that does the lichen D3. They're called VitaShine. They're in the UK, so we get our D3 our ingredient from them, and they're made from lichen, which is a moss. So they're essentially getting D3 from moss, which is, in my opinion, pretty cool. Because D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin, we put it into a pumpkin seed oil. Of course, it's organic pumpkin seed oil. And because D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin, it needs to be paired with an oil. If you are taking a D3 supplement that is a tablet and you're not eating it with a fatty meal or oil, then you probably are not absorbing your D3, because in order to absorb D3, it's a fat-soluble vitamin. It needs fat. So making sure that our D3 is paired with the pumpkin seed oil. It's a clean source of oil. It also has cranberry seed oil, but these oils help the D3 to absorb. And because it's a lichen source, it's a plant source, it's a very clean D3. So this one is a vanilla flavor. It's also very, very delicious. So the last spray is our vitamin C spray. So vitamin C is also a water-soluble vitamin. So making sure that we're getting enough vitamin C every single day is really important, especially, during this pandemic. We're really trying to boost our immune system and keep healthy. So eating a lot of, vitamin C rich foods, but boosting our vitamin C is also a wonderful idea. And this is a great way to do it. There's 2 different flavors. So there's a cherry tangerine, and then there's an orange tangerine. They're both very delicious. But this vitamin C extract is from almond berry, and almond berry is one of the most dense sources of vitamin C in a food found in the entire world. So the almond berry is really where it's at when it comes to sourcing vitamin C. I've never seen an actual almond berry. I don't think you can actually buy them, but you know, the extract itself is very, very potent. And also, of course, because it's a whole food, it also comes with natural cofactors to help that vitamin C be absorbed. So you're really giving your immune system a chance to get a boost from vitamin C. And of course, vitamin C promotes collagen production, so healthy skin and nails. It's just really important to keep vitamin C stores up because, again, it's a water-soluble vitamin. So it's something that we're going to be depleted with constantly throughout the day. So making sure we're getting enough vitamin C to boost our immune system and our overall health. So our collagen builder, I feel like collagen is one of those things that's been a hot topic on the market for such a long time. I get asked all the time, you know, should I be taking collagen? And the thing with collagen is there's two different types of collagen. There's collagen itself, which is coming from an animal source, and then there's collagen builders. So the collagen itself, which is coming from an animal source, is coming from animal bones. So it's a byproduct of the meat industry, essentially. So it comes from cattle, so cow bones, or the marine collagen comes from fish scales. And then the plant collagen builder are essentially vitamin and mineral rich ingredients that are whole foods that are promoting your body's ability to build collagen. For me personally, just based on the studies that I've read and I know of, collagen itself in an animal form doesn't necessarily have the scientific backing in order to say it promotes collagen production and have huge results, because collagen essentially is in our hair, skin, nails, and joints. And collagen products are really aimed at, you know, helping with those things. So if you're looking at the studies, you know, animal collagen-based products are not necessarily as great as collagen builders. Collagen builders, you're getting all these wonderful vitamin and mineral rich ingredients that are not only good for building collagen, but they're also great for overall health. So you're getting more bang for your buck, in my opinion. Especially this one, I absolutely love the mykind collagen builder. The main ingredient is bamboo. So there's many different kinds of collagen building sources. Silica, essentially, silica is what helps to build your collagen in your body. There's many different ones on the market, you know, bamboo, crystal, horsetail, which is a herb. But the bamboo is the most dense silica-based ingredient, essentially. And it contains both silica and biotin in this product. As you can see, there's so many other vitamins and minerals here that help to promote healthy hair, skin, and nails. We have antioxidants in our green tea. We have selenium, we have biotin, folate, we have our B vitamins, our vitamin E, vitamin C. So all these things are helping to build healthy hair, skin, and nails, and promote healthy joints and overall collagen production, while also benefiting so many other things in your body to really build a healthy immune system and a healthy body. So our certification summary, so as you can see, with all of the mykind line, you know, we're vegan certified, we're gluten-free certified, dairy-free, non-GMO verified, USDA certified, whole food verified. You know, we really make sure that all of our products really meet the standard of being able to pass all these certifications. So it's a peace of mind for a wide variety of customers. When they grab a box of mykind, they know that there is a superior product inside. They know that, you know, it's been verified in every possible way it can to be able to be a great product that's going to be beneficial for your health. So the mykind organic general overview, we've talked about a few about these points. So we deliver unique global ingredients. We really source our ingredients from all over the world. Like you saw on our map, we really try to pull ingredients from farmers and farming practices from around the world that really uphold the organic, biodynamic, healthy environment standards. We're using that freshwater patented extraction. So there's no chemicals in the extraction. So there's no residue left over. We're using clean tablet technology. So there's no fillers or binders, non-medicinal ingredients that are just being put into a tablet just to fill it. We're really using whole foods for the entire tablet. Another great thing about this tablet, when you're using a whole food tablet, is that, I don't know if you've ever tried to chew a regular tablet. It's not so easy and you might break a tooth. But the great thing about the clean tablet technology is that you can chew these tablets because they're only made with whole foods. You can chew them. I find some people are a bit hesitant with tablets because they're bigger than capsules. So the great way around this is that you can chew these tablets. They also dissolve in water. If you drop them, I put mine in tea, but you can drop them in cold or hot water and they will dissolve into the water because they're just whole foods. They're made of whole foods and they'll easily break apart. There's no binders, there's no fillers, and they can easily break apart or you can chew them. So that is a great thing about the clean tablet technology. It's just a food tablet. And of course, every ingredient is going to be traceable. We're very transparent of where our ingredients come from, about letting you know where the farms are. You can always source this information on our website, or you can email us. We're happy to tell you where exactly your ingredients in your product are from. We get third-party testing, so that's where the organic and non-GMO certifications come in. They are third-party testers. They look at things from an overview, and they thoroughly test from seed to product exactly, every step of the way to make sure this is a superior product, and whatever we're claiming on the box is what's inside the product itself. So making sure foods are certified organic and nutrient dense is extremely important. So again, an overview with the mykind organics. Everything's made from certified organic whole foods. The body recognizes this as a food essentially, and it's easier to break down, easier to absorb. This is really wonderful for people that struggle with digestive issues, struggle with absorption. You don't have to worry about taking something, wondering if your body will break it down, because often when you're taking a tablet that has a lot of non-medicinal ingredients and the ingredients are not well absorbed, just because you're taking something doesn't mean you're absorbing that product. It cannot be absorbed. And it's costing you money to buy these products. You want to make sure that you're getting, the best bang for your buck as possible. You're getting all the nutrients that it promises on the box and that you're getting those absorbed into your body. So when you're taking a whole food, nutrient dense product, this is more likely to be recognized as food and be absorbed into your body. So you're getting the full benefits. All of the tablets are made of 100% real food. So again, we have no fillers, we have no binders. It's all food, and that's such a wonderful thing because you're truly getting the most bang for your buck. You're getting as much nutrients as you can crammed into a tablet, and this will really benefit your health overall. If there's no fillers, there's no binders, there's nothing in there that's going to be potentially harmful for your health. We are just talking about food. So again, everything's made from, grown on a biodynamic farm. We're really using holistic and ethical farming practices. So we're not only caring about the end product that you're receiving, we're caring about the footprint we're making in the environment. We want to make sure that the farms that we're using are taking care of the environment. They're taking care of their farmers. Everyone in this equation wins. That way we can continue to farm naturally and work with the environment and nature to be able to, produce wonderful nutrients for future generations. We have to look after our soil, because without our soil, without insects and bees and all the things in our environment that are helping grow these wonderful foods which are turning into nutrients, without looking after them, we're really not protecting, we're not investing in our future food. And the more that we take advantage of our soil and the more that we pour toxins into our soil, the less we're going to be able to yield from our soil in the future, and the less nutrients we're going to have in our food in the future. So making sure that we're following these biodynamic farming practices, and really working with nature in order to grow these foods, which turn into our nutrients, is super important. Everything is made 100% traceable. So all the ingredients, like I said, you can see where it's from. We can tell you what farm the ingredients in your product is from. We have farms all over the world, and we really work closely with them to be able to trace where these ingredients are coming from, because we want to know from seed to finish that our products are, ethically made, nutrient dense, and to every standard that we say they are, because we make a promise to our customers to make sure that they have a wonderful final product, and that really means a lot to us. So this is just going over again the freshwater extraction. So like I said, it has 4 different phases of extraction, and this was made essentially by PhD scientists. It's a new extraction process, and it's really it's an advanced process. I know that I actually don't know of any other companies that use freshwater extraction because it's patented. But yeah, it's really changed the game in terms of extracting these nutrients, because you literally have no synthetic residue left over. Just like when you grow conventional fruits and vegetables, and the FDA checks the levels of pesticides and herbicides on there, there are still trace levels left, which is why, we want to be aware of which fruits and vegetables have the most pesticides and herbicides, because we don't want to be eating that. The same thing comes when it comes to our vitamins and minerals in our supplements, because whatever it's grown with, those residues, not only when they're grown for the herbicides and pesticides, but also the extraction process uses synthetic harmful chemicals, and that will also remain on your final product. So, with this clean water extraction, it really is a new technology and a breakthrough to be able to say that we don't need to use synthetic chemicals anymore, and truly the product you're going to end up with at the end of the day is going to be clean, and it's going to be as beneficial to your body as it possibly can. So I'm going to talk about our newest product, which is our plant iron. This one came out about a year ago. I was really waiting for this one for a long time. For me personally, I used to struggle with anemia before I became a nutritionist a while ago. So I feel like I've taken every iron supplement on the market, both pill form and liquid. There definitely can be some issues when it comes to taking iron supplements. They don't taste amazing. You get that metallic taste in your mouth. They can be constipating. They can give you an upset stomach. So with this particular plant iron, this kind of eliminates all those things, which was why I was so incredibly excited for it to come out, because so many women in menstruating age take iron supplements. It's really important to make sure that our iron levels are kept healthy. I always encourage my clients to get regular lab checkups every 6 months to a year. Living in Canada, we're really lucky we can get free lab work, but making sure we definitely check our iron levels. If you are in menstruating age, making sure your iron levels are optimal is really important, because low iron levels can definitely have some serious side effects. But this particular product is really wonderful because you don't have to worry about constipating. It's non-constipating. It tastes really good, which is very strange to say for an iron supplement because they taste kind of metallic. But yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about this one in particular because I absolutely love it. And I know that iron supplements are one of the top supplements that I talk about with clients, especially female clients. So it is the first and only iron liquid that is certified USDA organic, and also non-GMO project verified. There is no other iron supplement liquid on the market that is certified in both these areas. So again, it's kind of the first of its kind. Garden of Life tends to do this with a lot of their products, which is amazing. They really try to push the envelope to be like, how can we do better? How can we make a better product for our customers, and they really outdid themselves with the iron supplement. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So like I said, I personally had anemia. Even if you don't have anemia, low iron is very, very common, especially for women of menstruating age. The common side effects of anemia or low iron are fatigue. So you tend to be tired quite frequently. This can be because we're not getting enough oxygen in our blood to meet our energy demands. So fatigue is a common one for low iron. Increased heart rate. So if you're getting, if your heart's racing all the time, you're getting heart palpitations. Again, this can be because of the oxygen levels in your blood. Shortness of breath, low blood pressure, and pale skin, can also be a side effect. I find low blood pressure is a big one. But just making sure you're getting your blood tested regularly. If you're having any of these symptoms, obviously seek a doctor's attention and have your blood work done. But even having your blood work every 6 months to a year just to look at your iron levels is a really great idea, because you'll be surprised of how many people are actually low in iron. So we get, in this particular product, we source iron from organic curry leaves. Curry leaves are very rich in natural iron. This particular one is grown in our farm in India because it's native to tropical climates. So these curry leaves you can see there, they look very lush and green and beautiful. Of course, they're certified organic curry leaves, and they're being extracted using the freshwater extraction. And then also in the iron supplement, you're going to want to have supporting nutrients in order to absorb iron. And one of the most important things to absorb iron is vitamin C. If you've ever taken an iron supplement before recommended by a doctor, they're always like, take it with a glass of orange juice. And it's not that orange juice is magic to absorb iron, it's the vitamin C in the orange juice. So we've kind of skipped the orange juice step and put it right in there. So we're getting the vitamin C from amla berry. So the same as the vitamin C supplement we talked about earlier, the amla berry is one of the most dense sources of vitamin C in the world. So you're getting the pure amla berry extract in there as well. So it's one of the cofactors for iron. So great for helping with absorption while also giving, those polyphenols, antioxidants, and has the rich bioflavonoids. So wonderful for your collagen production, hair, skin, and nails. Another thing it has is ashwagandha root. So ashwagandha is used in Ayurvedic medicine. Ashwagandha is an amazing herb for stress, for cortisol production. So studies have been done to show that ashwagandha actually lowers cortisol production. Cortisol is our stress hormone. So wherever we're anxious or stressed out, our cortisol levels are raised. And ashwagandha naturally helps to reduce the cortisol levels. So it helps to get our stress under control and lower our stress hormones to put our bodies into a more relaxed state. So the one that we use is KSM 66. This one is a patented extract. It's a very potent patented extract, and they use clean green technology to extract the ashwagandha as well. So again, you want to make sure that all of your botanical extracts are being extracted without the use of chemicals. And KSM 66 is a patented technology, tongue-tied there, that uses green extraction to be able to do that, to make sure that they're getting the most they possibly can from the extract, and it's completely clean without using any harmful chemicals. So another thing also included in the iron is our B12 and B6. So you'll often see in iron supplements also include B12, because B12 helps with not only iron absorption, but it helps with red blood cell production, which is very important. So having cofactors of these B vitamins also help to stabilize and absorb iron. So it's really a wonderful package inside here. So we have our vitamin C, we have our B6, our B12, and we have, the methylcobalamin. So we're using the same B12 as we did in the spray. So it's the methylcobalamin source, and we're getting 100 micrograms. So this essentially just tells you how to use it. It's a liquid and you're going to need 10 milliliters. They give you a measuring cup. You just shake it beforehand. I also, like I said before, this is a really delicious product. I've tasted a lot of different iron liquids and they're very metallic tasting. This one is very delicious. So if you are someone that is experiencing anemia or low iron levels and you need to take iron on a regular basis, this is a great option because it tastes good. Also, when you're taking a liquid source, liquid tends to absorb a lot easier. So especially when it comes to iron, it's a great benefit to take a liquid versus a pill. So this, just gives you a rundown of everything I mentioned. It's the first and only USDA organic whole food plant iron. Same with non-GMO verified. There is no other, liquid whole plant food iron that has both of these certifications. So we really worked hard to be able to get both of these certifications because people really trust them. So when you're looking at the product, you know it's fully verified and you can feel good about purchasing the product. Ingredients are sourced from over 35 family organic run farms. We have 10 milligrams of plant iron. So they're sourced from curry leaves, which are obviously organic and chemical free. Because it's a liquid, like I said, it's easily absorbed, and it's also non-constipating, which is a huge benefit because so many different drugstore and even health food store supplements, iron supplements are constipating, which can be very annoying if this is something you need to take every single day. So having something not bother your stomach and not constipate you is, in my books, is a great option. So just like the iron, you're also getting supported nutrients like amla berry. So there's 15 milligrams of whole vitamin C in there. You're getting your B6 and your B12, and then your KSM 66 ashwagandha to help reduce cortisol levels and reduce stress levels. It's a delicious cranberry lime flavor. I find that it doesn't have the metallic taste, which is great, since many iron supplements do. And then there's no added sugar because it is a little bit sweet. It does have organic stevia in it. So it's there's no added sugar. Stevia doesn't spike insulin levels. So it's safe for people with blood sugar issues or diabetics. There's no chemicals, preservatives, and we only use organic citrus extract for freshness. Of course, it's vegan certified. So everything in the mykind line is 100% vegan and plant-based. It's gluten-free certified. And yes, it is excellent value indeed. So that essentially brings us to the end of our presentation. I'm going to pass it back to Sarah to see if any of you had questions. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me share this with you. And I'm looking forward to answering whatever questions you have.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Chela. Very good information, and mykind organics are very good products from whole food. Great. Yes, let's see if anyone has a question. Please, if anyone has a question, type it in chat box, then we can answer it. Just Chela, can you stop sharing? Then I can see.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry.
YouTube.
Let me just stop here.
I'll see the screen bigger. Oops. Let's see. Okay. As we are waiting, if you see a question, I just want to remind everyone again, whoever attended in this webinar, you all receive a nutrition box, $10 off when you purchase $50 or more, and this will mail to you. You just need to fill out the survey link that you will get at the end of this webinar, filling it out with your mailing address, and then we will send this to you in about a month.
That's a really good deal.
Yes.
For watching the webinar, you get $10. That's pretty great.
Yes. I mean, we have very good quality products. Okay, let's see. I think there is a question. Um, uh, Jackie said, you mentioned some of your products come in a spray. Can you please elaborate on how to efficiently use these products as a spray? Do you spray under your tongue or just in your mouth?
Yeah, you can just use it straight into your mouth. I mean, there's no specific way. It's just a spray. Even if you use it under your tongue or over your tongue, essentially it's, your saliva is grabbing the ingredients and you're swallowing it. So it's absorbed the same way. But yeah, the spray, you just every different spray has a different dosage amount per day. And then because it's a fresh ingredient, it's best kept in the fridge after opening. But yeah, they're my favorite one out of the whole lines. They're really delicious and easy to take.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you just spray them directly into your mouth.
Okay, great. Next question. Where does the flavors in some of these products come from? Raspberry, tangerine.
Yeah, so it's coming from raspberry and tangerine. It's
Just
coming, yeah, it's
real fruit.
real
So-
fruit. Yeah. When I say that there's no added ingredients or flavors and synthetic things in the mykind line, there is none. Every flavor that you're getting is from fruits, essentially the fruits coming from whatever the ingredients are. If you look at the vitamin C ingredients list, there's a long list of fruits in there, but you are just tasting the raspberry and tangerine. It's all natural flavoring, all natural fruit, and any sweetness you're getting is going to be from the stevia, so it's going to be naturally sweetened. Some of them don't even have that. You just get it's kind of like a nice tangy flavor because you're getting the sweet
Mhm.
and tangy of the raspberry.
Okay, great. Uh, any other question? And also, I mentioned if you have any nutrition question, you can call your local Choices Market and talk to one of our in-store nutritionists. And also, if you are interested in any of these products, you can come to your Choices Market, and we carry most of Garden Life products. So, right. Okay, another question from Jackie. Uh, do your tablets need to be refrigerated as well? Your product sounds fabulous. I did not know about this brand, so I thank you for all the great information.
Oh, well, thanks so
So-
much for watching, Jackie. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, the tablets don't need to be refrigerated because they've been dried. The ingredients has been extracted and then dried and then put into the tablet. They don't need refrigeration. The reason that the liquids need refrigeration is because it is liquid. Same with our iron. So they're more perishable. But because the tablets, the ingredients are being dried essentially beforehand, so the constituents are preserved and dried and then made into the tablet, they don't need to be refrigerated after opening at all.
Mhm. Okay, that's great. Thank you. And another question. Oops. Jesus. Said sometimes tablets are a bit hard to digest fully. Do you find this is the same case with these products?
Um, I don't actually. That I get that question a lot, especially with clients. They don't like tablets because, it's if you have a compromised digestive system, it can be hard for your body to break it down. But again, you have to remember what's in that tablet. So if you have a tiny part of that tablet that's going to be the active ingredients, and then you have bulking agents and fillers, your body doesn't recognize that, and it is harder to digest and break down and absorb. But because this particular tablet, Garden of Life mykind, is 100% made from whole foods, your body's going to recognize every ingredient in there as food, so it's a lot easier to break down. Also, if you try to, chew a tablet or drop a tablet in water, a regular tablet, it's going to stay a tablet because of the bulking agents and the fillers. With the mykind tablet, you can chew them. They're essentially food. They're very easily chewable, or you can drop them into water and they break apart and you can mix them into your drinks. So they're very easy to break down, digest, and absorb because they're made fully from whole foods.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that we really can find like good, well-observed tablets. So these are excellent.
It really helps. I mean, I think most people gravitate towards capsules because people think they're easier, but like these ones are, just as good, and they have so many more benefits. So yeah, they're excellent.
Great. And also, with the drying process, are these ingredients considered raw?
They are, yes. Yeah. So everything,
Raw.
because they're naturally extracted and dried, they preserve essentially all the active ingredients. If you cook them or you expose them to high heat, the nutrient density is going to be lowered. And they worked so hard to I mean, if you think about the raw material used, there's over 10,000 liters of product used only to make 100 to 200 liters of extract. So that's a lot of product they're using. They want to make sure that everything left over is as nutrient dense and active, has as active constituents as possible. So they're really preserving the nutrients and not exposing it to high heat in order to kill off those nutrients essentially.
Great, thank you. And let's see if any other question. I think that's all.
That's all. Okay.
Yes, I don't see any more questions. So thank you so much again, Chela.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm so thankful for talking to all the lovely choices customers and being here. And yeah, if you have any questions, please head to Garden of Life Canada website. You're welcome to contact us if you have any further questions about our products. You can also find us on Instagram at Garden of Life Canada. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And thank you so much for having me on.
You're very welcome. And thank you everyone for attending in our webinar. I hope you enjoy it. And also said awesome. Thank you, Chela. The webinar was very informative.
Wonderful. So thank you so much.
Yes. And no more question. Yes, and I hope everyone has a great night, and see you in other webinars. And also you can check our Choices Market website, choicesmarket.com. And also this webinar will stay in YouTube. You can rewatch it, or if you didn't have time to watch it the whole thing, you can go back and watch it again. All right. Thank you so much.